Hello there folks, Bonkygook here, back with another achievement walkthrough. We're tackling the game Gabriels Worlds, The Adventure today, published by My Night Sun Games and developed by Rafael Valim Fernandes. It initially released on the 15th of November of 2022 and is currently purchasable for a price of $5.49. It also has already received a 1000G title update, bringing the total to 15 achievements for 2000G, and more than likely it's going to take us about 20 to 25 minutes to get there. However, some of the sections can be a bit annoying. The controls aren't great, so you may struggle a little bit more than the video does. I'm not going to edit out any of my deaths or anything like that, so the runtime will be how long it takes me, but I am familiar with everything, so some of the sections, bosses, or the final boss specifically may take you a couple of tries to get through, just an FYI. Mostly the game is about collecting things, cereal bowls, cereal boxes, coins, golden keys, and I'm going to be showing you how to get all of the things that are required for the achievement. So whenever you're ready, press A on the screen to reach the language select. Use the right analog to select what language you want and press A, and it'll bring us to a title card eventually. When you get to the title card, you can press Start to go to the main menu. And then use the D-pad to select collectibles and press A. We're going to use the right analog to move the spoon over the alien looking thing there, and that'll get us our first achievement, Mars Attacks for 80G. Then press B to go back to the title card, press Start to go back to the main menu, and press A on New Game. Word of warning, we have to watch the entirety of the cutscene, so do not press A after you start a new game. You have to let the entire scene run. So again, just sit here with your hand off the controller so you don't accidentally skip the story. It wouldn't be that terrible, you just have to start a new game. But we're going to be working our way through the game. Most of the achievements, as I may have mentioned, are collectible related. There's a couple for finishing the game and dying. More than likely, you're going to die 10 times or more by the end of the game, but if not, there's a great section at the final boss to get all of the deaths in one go, if you do manage to get to the end without getting that achievement. But everything else is basically collectible related, just collecting cereal bowls, the cereal boxes, the coins, the keys, and for killing certain types of enemies. So on this first level when we start, there's going to be quite a few of the collectibles achievements popping. You get one for 10 cereal bowls, one for 20, one for 30. There's a coin achievement, which we can get on the first level, although the coin is rather difficult on the first level, so if you don't want to attempt it, don't bother. The second level is much easier. But once the cutscene finishes, you get your achievement for watching the whole story, and you start on the first level. You can move left and right with the analog or D-pad. I recommend using the D-pad. I think it's easier. The controls are kind of floaty, and you can jump with A and double jump with A, and that's basically all you can do. So we're going to run to the right and start picking up these cereal bowls, and then you jump on top of the jellies to kill them. So go ahead and do that, and you should get your first achievement, How Delightful, for collecting 10 cereal bowls when you get into this hidden room here. As I said, the achievements are going to pop relatively quickly, so I'm going slow so that you see exactly what I'm doing. You can either jump from the left ledge to get up to the top, or you can jump from the secret entrance and get up here, kill the enemy, grab the cereal bowls, and then we're going to drop down the hole here. You'll drop down onto a platform with a jelly underneath, so jump on it. And that should get you an achievement for collecting 20 cereal bowls down here. Double jump up into the left to get the key in this hidden area, then drop down and grab the cereal bowls. Drop down on the right to kill a jelly, and that should get you the 5 enemies killed achievement for 200 more G. And then we're going to jump on this jelly, and then jump up and to the right to get the cereal bowl and the enemy, and you should reach 30 cereal bowls, which will get you another achievement. We're going to grab all of the ones up here. And we're going to be rather thorough on these first couple of levels. Get on the platform here, and again, if this coin is too troublesome, don't bother, but we're just going to jump off and double jump back onto the platform. That'll get us an achievement for collecting our first coin, and we don't need to get any more than that if you don't want to. Work our way down the hallway here, jumping on the slimes as we go. And then drop down, and to the right here you'll find a secret. We did get another achievement for killing 10 of the strange jellies. And once you get down here, there's a couple of cereal bowls in your first cereal box. You don't get an achievement for this one, but again, I'm trying to be thorough on the first couple of levels here. That way, when we get to the later levels, you can just worry about getting through the level instead of having to collect the cereal bowls. So we're trying to collect everything early on to make it easier later on. You don't really need to kill any more of the jellies unless you need hearts. But grab those 5 bowls, and we've reached the end of the first level. As long as you have the key, the end door will open, and you'll move on to level 2. Again, we're going to be thorough on this level, so walk to the left here, and we need to grab the bowls here. Drop down, and I recommend destroying these 3 jellies just so you don't have any danger of getting hurt by them when you come back down. Just work your way up, being careful of the spikes, and we don't need to go up to that door there, but we will unlock another achievement for getting to 100 bowls of cereal. That gets you 200 more G. And then you can jump up into the right and bounce up using that bouncy whatever it is. Mushroom, I assume. Again, I recommend killing the jellies because they can cause you some damage. And then jump back over to the right, bounce up, and work on the jellies up here. Do be careful because this one jumps up in the air and can catch you off guard. Jump up into the right to get some more bowls and a much easier coin. If you didn't get the coin on the first level, this one is far easier to get for the achievement. Walk to the left and hit X on this statue. We only need to do 3 of these symbols, but it's very confusing. So you move the spoon with your right analog and you pick up and drop the item with Y. So both things happen with your right hand, which makes it a little confusing. So I kind of stretch my left hand over. But we need to get the bottom left symbol and the upper right and upper middle symbols placed. So we're going to grab this plain triangle and drop it there. We're going to grab this horseshoe with the line across the center and drop it in the bottom left. And then we're going to grab this, upside down, almost M looking thing and drop it in the upper right. Go back to your right and down now. And this has opened the crate here with another collectible cereal box. And we're going to get an achievement for getting this one because this is a rare one. The achievement will eventually pop here. There it is. The rare more or less for 150 G. And with that done, we're going to just continue back up past the statue and down on the other side until we get to the exit door. That's the end of the second level, and now we have the first boss. As I said, I think I said anyways, this one is probably the most difficult boss of the 4, other than the chase one, which is just annoying. This guy spawns like tens and tens of minions, so if you don't have a good strategy, this one can overwhelm you very quickly. The good news is I have a good strategy. So what we're going to do is run right so that you trigger the boss, and we're going to run left to that first rock on the ground to our left. You can time it, and you need to jump on his head, but he drops minions from the sky. The good news is, this far to the left, they can't drop on you. So you can just keep timing it and to jump on his head whenever he comes back to you. And you should only have to deal with like 3 or 4 of the slimes in total. They'll eventually walk your direction, but as long as you're timing it properly, you'll basically just bounce off the boss and land on the jelly's heads. And this makes this boss fight super easy, as you can see. Didn't take any damage. But trying to do that legitimately by running around the center of the arena is really difficult. So follow along with me and shouldn't have any problems. We're going to move on to the next level, and we're not going to try to get the bowls here. Whatever you get is extra, but the jumps are kind of frustrating with the system, the floaty controls. So just make your way across as best you can. Double jumping across everything is usually easier. Make sure you kill the green slime up here, and then you'll notice 2 arrow signs pointing underneath where we're standing. There's a hidden wall, so just jump off and to the left to get the key. There's another coin there if you still need that achievement, though you shouldn't. And jump on a second of these slimes to get another achievement for 200G for killing 2 of the green enemies, which are apparently lemon, I guess. Work your way to the right. Try to avoid the cereal box here. It doesn't matter. And just follow these platforms along. Now, some of this section can be a big pain in the ass. I don't like to swear, but the spikes, some of the platforms go straight into spikes and some of them don't. And then there's some of these fun jumps across the animals. And these platforms only stay solid for a second, and if you stay on them for too long, you'll fall to your death. So there's a lot going on here that isn't fun. Try to stay on the upper platform here, because as you saw, the bottom one goes right through a spike. And then when you get to the end here, just work your way to the right and to the end of the level, and go through the exit door. Excuse me. When you spawn in, we're going to try to get all of the, or as many of the cereal bowls as we can. We're reaching 200, which is the number we need. So once you get 200, you don't need to grab anymore. Once you reach here, though, jump across the gap, and to the left, you'll see an arrow of cereal bowls pointing out a secret section. Now we got the 200 bowl achievement there, and now inside this gap you'll pick up the golden key and can work your way back. Now we don't need to destroy enemies, we don't need to capture cereal bowls, and there's only, I think, one more collectible we need to grab. So really the goal now is to just finish the level. So we're going to work our way through here to the right, up and over and down, and then back up over here and down to the exit door. This gets us to the second boss of the game, which I consider the easiest. The UFO spawns an alien, and he just walks left to right to start, and after you hit him a few times, he stops on the right and will spit out 4 projectiles in a row at a time with a short break in between them. So the best thing you can do is try to time it so that you fall down after he spits out the 4 projectiles. Now, sometimes he messes with his timing there, but overall, this is the easiest boss in the game. I think I only needed to hit him like 8 or 9 times, and I didn't take any damage. Once you've beat him, you move on to the third world, and we're going to make our way across. This level isn't too bad, but the Smokey the Bear beavers can be somewhat annoying. Work your way through timing your running, and then be careful here because the game can be mean with the double jump and it won't let you. So just be careful running across that evaporating platform there. Work your way across. Again, we have no more cereal bowl or enemy achievements, so just work your way through everything. When you get here, be careful dropping down, but do work your way across as safely as you can. When you get down the bottom, you don't need to grab that cereal box, but we do need to get across here. And again, Smokey the Beaver is annoying. Double jump across, and now you need to wait for your moving platform here. Nice calm in the achievement hunting storm. Jump over to the next moving platform, and again, we'll just relax for a few seconds. Do be cautious of the jumping rocks, but right behind them is the end of the level. We'll move on to the second level in this area. Double jump across the gap, and just be cautious of the enemies. Dying isn't that big of a deal, but you don't want to die if you can avoid it. Use the animals here to jump up to the key, and once you have the key, you can drop back down. Just do be careful where you drop. And once you get down here, avoid the enemies, double jump across the gap, and you'll have a ghost Smokey the Bear Beaver that spawns in to harass you. But this is a rather short level. Jump over a couple more and a rock, and you'll get to the end of the level. And we're going to face the third boss, who is also somewhat annoying, but he has a pretty easy tell. You're going to want to watch. He runs left to right, and about halfway across he jumps. And then he spawns rocks that fall in, but they spawn on one half of the arena. So what you want to try to do, and maybe you want to watch me do this because it's easier than trying to explain it, is you're going to want to try to figure out where the rocks are coming and jump on him to escape the rocks and cause damage. Again, it's difficult to explain by talking about it, so just watch what I do here. Run in, and once you have control, run left to avoid him because he drops in. And what you're going to do is try to bounce on him in the middle and then keep bouncing across, so you're avoiding the rocks that are falling in, like I am here. Now, it can be difficult to get the timing in right off the bat, and you saw I did take damage before I got the timing down, but once you get the timing down, that's a piece of cake. It really can be rather difficult if you're trying to avoid him and the rocks at the same time, which is why you want to try to, at the very least, time the rocks so you're on the other side of the arena from where he's dropping them. But whenever you defeat him, you can run over and the door will open, and you can move on to the Candyland. Just work your way across the platforms. Stay low here to get across, and when you get over here, drop down and hang a left to find the key. I recommend using the platform to get back up when that jumps, and then just keep making your way to the right. These hornet things, or whatever they are, don't seem like they can be damaged, so just try to avoid them, and then you'll find the level exit door on the other side. Again, a very short level if you know what you're doing. Jump onto the chocolate platform, and you move the chocolate platform using the D-pad. So, it's very simple. Don't worry about getting too many of the cereal bowls. Just try to make your way through. And avoid the spikes, obviously. Not a whole lot to talk about here. Pretty basic. And make sure you take your time. You know, no reason to get yourself killed because you're trying to go through too quickly. Or damaged, really. There's another cereal box up there, but we don't care about it. We only go for the rare ones. Once you get over here, you can press A to jump off. And then we're going to drop down to get the key. There's nothing up top, so don't worry. And then we need to get to the other platform over here, and we're going to work our way to the left, trying to avoid whatever obstacles we run into. But there's not a whole lot here. Mostly gaps and a couple of enemies. And you'll eventually reach the exit door and can go through. And we got another boss. This one, again, not all that difficult if you know its pattern. It's going to spawn in the middle of the screen, and we're just going to keep trying to bounce on it. Now, it's going to spawn in the middle, then teleport to the right, then teleport to the left, and then repeat the process over and over again. If you can time it properly, you can kill this in like 10 seconds. So, run to the right. Once you see the heart, you're reaching the arena. Jump up on one of the platforms. and then jump on top of the cupcake if you can. Again, it does go rather quickly, but try to time your jumps as you can see me doing there. And be careful that you don't, take too much damage. If you need to, you can take some of the hearts. And they do come back, so. Again, not super easy, but once you understand the pattern, it's not too bad overall. And we've made it to the final level. We're going to run to the right here, and just be careful. The fences can't be jumped on, but the scaffolding here can be. So just work your way to the right. Watch out for the saws. I think they're an instant death. So just double jump to your right and work your way through the level. There's nothing too tricky here. Use the pad to double jump, because as I said, that fencing down there is not solid. Get up and underneath the saw here and double jump to your right using the bouncy pads to get through. When you get over here, slow down. You'll see a cereal box below you. Jump to the platform here and then double jump over to get it. That is the Platinum Edition cereal box, which we need to grab for an achievement. There it is, the Platinum Edition achievement. Double jump back and just now work your way back to the end of the level. There is no key for this level. You just get over here and keep running to the right, and we reach the final boss. I recommend just holding right until the final boss notice pops up each time and letting him kill you. Now, there's a chance you might die 10 times on the final boss chase scene here, but if you don't, you'd have to reload the game and spawn, grind out deaths. And it's best to just do it here. Just keep holding right until the final boss thing pops up, and then let him kill you until the 10 death achievement pops. We haven't died yet, so we have to die 10 times to get that achievement. I think this one is 8. There's 9. And this one should be 10. Okay, and before I start this again, I recommend dying and then going into the run, because the timing will line up with what I do. If you try to do this first on your first run, the timing of some of the obstacles will be different, and it makes it much more difficult. I recommend dying and then immediately holding right and trying to keep up with me. There are 2 obstacles really that are going to cause you trouble. The boss runs directly behind you, and you have to keep your speed up early, because any deviation in speed, he'll kill you. But about halfway through, after the second real obstacle that caused me trouble, he backs off, and you can kind of take it slower at the end. Now, I'm not going to. I'll be rushing through as quickly as possible. But as I said, I'm not going to edit any of my failed attempts out. So if you want to watch and see what I do, feel free. I'm going to go ahead and run right so that he spawns, and then he's going to kill me. And then I'm going to hold right, and we're going to start running. So there's a couple of jumps here. We're going to double jump to start, another double jump, a double jump in between all of these, single jump here, and then double jump across the gap, double in between, single here to get under that. Over here you're going to double jump, and then you can slow down a little bit to get through the obstacles here. And now he slows down and gives you time to get through the obstacles, so you can take your time a little bit more than I am here. But you just need to work your way through to this gate, and that's the end of the game. He shows up, gets beaten by the power of cereal or something, and we win the game. I actually don't know what happens here. And that's the end of the game. And you can watch the ending cutscene if you want to, but that should be your 2000G. As always, folks, if you have any questions or comments for me, you can reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer them. But if not, I will see you guys next time.